Hello my dear students, how are you all? Welcome to Diksha Karnataka YouTube channel. I hope all of you are doing good. Today we're gonna talk about session number 2 for mathematics, right? For what bacha? Decode NCERT. Decode NCERT maths session number 2, right? Second chapter we are doing today, inverse trigonometric function. Inverse trigonometric functions. In the session today bacha, what we're gonna do? We're gonna decode the NCERT, what to read from here, what questions to solve, what is the question list from the exercise, from the miscellaneous exercises, examples, and all of this we'll see bacha. And I'll let you know how to prepare. Whatever I can give from my side to decode NCERT, I'll let you know that right now in this small session that we have for ITF. Let's move on bacha. I hope you are prepared for this. I hope you all are excited for this. Have a look. What we got over here is this bacha. Next coming up for us is going to be introduction, so please go ahead, have a read of this. So usually the questions are not coming from here, but if it does, we don't want you to miss it. Okay, so have a look. Basic concepts, very important. As the name says, inverse trigonometric function. It means it'll be inverse of the function. So what you learned in the chapter number 1, how to find inverse. So function can be taken inverse only if you should be having a bijective function. If the function is bijective, then only you can take the inverse. Okay, now to prove the function is bijective, you have to know their domain and range, right? That's why inverse of what? Inverse of trigonometric functions. So take the trigonometric functions first: sine, cos, tan, cot, sec, cosec, and remember their range and domain. Range and domains. Check here, all real 2 minus 1 comma 1. So domain is all real, range is minus 1 comma 1. All real 2 minus 1 comma 1. Again domain is r and range is minus 1 comma 1. Okay, domain over here is r minus odd multiples of pi by 2. You can't take odd multiple pi by 2 because at that point the tan becomes infinity or undefined. Okay, but range is all real bacha. The range is all real. Same goes with cot. At n pi it'll become infinity, so that's why you're going to take it out of the domain. So r minus n pi, and range is all real. Okay, so same way you have sec and cosec as well. So you have to know the domain and range for the functions. Which function? Trigonometric function, because you're looking to find what? Inverse of that, right? So first thing is knowing the domain and range without fail. You can't get confused, right? For tan, for the write the value of tan as in the cos of, what is the value of cos? Cos is what? All real 2 minus 1 to 1. Don't write it for tan. Don't confuse between the ratios. Okay, so you have to be very clear about that. Once that is done, you have to move on to finding the bacha inverse of a trigonometric ratio. Again, if you check this out, what did I say? The ratio has to be bijective sum. The function has to be bijective sum. Okay, the function has bijective means it has to be 1 1 on 2, 1 1 on 2. Check sine function. Draw the sine function graph. If you see the graph, I'll show you the graph. Don't worry about that. It's very important. You have to do the graph as well. But if you see the graph now, you'll find more than one point of intersection if you draw one line parallel to x-axis. If you draw a line parallel to x-axis, now you'll find more than one point of intersection. It means not 1 1. Means we have to do something to make it invertible, to make it bijective. And how you do that? By truncating the domain. Check this out. So instead of writing all the intervals of the domain, what do you write? You write it the restricted domain. What do you write? Restricted domain by truncating it. Check this out. First one, minus 3 pi by 2 to pi by 2. Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Okay, we have pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2, like that. Okay, and this domain over here is called as principal values. Means once you find this, means whenever they're asking you find the principal value of the inverse function, they're looking for answer in this domain only. Okay, the basic one where the it will be again different for all the ratios, but for now for sine it is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 only. For sine it is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, minus 90 to 90. Okay, for sine. Okay, so they must have written over here. This is called as principal value. They have not written. Okay, please check this out. Okay, yeah, we'll see this. So check this. For sine inverse, what happens? Usually, what did I say? In inverse of a function, the range becomes domain and domain becomes range, right? Check this out. The range was minus 1 to 1 became domain. Range was minus 1 to 1 became domain. What about sir domain? The domain was there all real. It is only this minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Because you gave a restriction on the domain of sine graph. You gave a restriction. You truncated the domain of the sine function into what bacha? Onto this branch. Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. And that domain now became what? The range of the sine inverse. Getting it right? This was the domain of sine. What domain, sir? restricted domain, sir. Then if you take invertible, why did we restrict the domain, bacha? To make it invertible. Once it is invertible, this restricted domain becomes the range of your sine inverse. Which range, sir? Principal range. Principal value will be minus pi by 2 only. What is this called as? Yeah, see, check this out. Call the principal value branch. Principal value branch. You have to remember this very thoroughly. You have to know for all the trigonometric functions. I hope this is clear. Let's move on now. We have now, bacha, same will be there for graphs also. I said this, no, if you draw a graph like this, a line parallel to x-axis, you're gonna get what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 over here only, from minus 2 pi to 5 pi by 2, you're gonna get what? 5 point of intersection. That's not right. It has to be what, bacha? It has to be only 1. Okay, now you check this out. Once you truncate the domain, from where to where? From this part. Only this part, sir. You'll have only one intersection, na? Because this part is removed. From here it is removed. From here it is removed. From this part I can erase this. From this part I can erase this. I have only this part left. This branch is left, called as principal value branch. Then if you just cut a line like this everywhere, anywhere, you'll get only one point of intersection. Then the function is invertible, okay, because of bijection, and you get the graph of this over here like this. Check this out. This branch is your invertible. Okay, this is for sine inverse of x. This part is sine x, this part is sine inverse of x. The vertical part is sine inverse of x. Check this out carefully. They are a mirror image about what, bacha? About the y equal to x line. That's right, no? Why it is mirror image, sir? Because domain becomes range, range becomes domain, x becomes y, y becomes x. So y equal to x line, if you take the two graphs, sin x and sin inverse of x will be mirror image on that. Check this out. They don't look mirror image to you? This part, mirror image, is over here. Check this, no? This part is sin inverse of x, and this part is sin x. They two are mirror image. Don't think this is the mirror image. No. This is not any graph. This is not any graph. Okay? This part, bacha, after 0 come down. This is sin inverse of x. After 0 go left. This is sin x. They are the mirror image. Same way over here. After 0 sin x. This is after 0 sin inverse of x. This and this is the mirror image, and this is the mirror image. Not this whole thing is the mirror image of this. There is no graph like that. This mirror image is over here, and this mirror image is over here. About which line? Y equal to x line. I hope you are able to see the graph now. This part image is here. So this part image is here, and this part image is there. This horizontal line is sin inverse of x, okay, the curve, and this curve is, sorry, this is sin x, okay, forgive me, and this is sin inverse of x, the vertical part. I just, misspelled it. No problem, okay. Now this is clear. Same we have, bacha, for cos also. Again, we have cos, same graph. Truncate the domain from where to where, bacha? 0 to pi. Or you can do minus pi to pi also. Okay, 0 to pi will be good. Yeah, 0 to pi. 0 to pi, please check this out, 0 to pi, okay. That's your principal value for cos inverse of x, or cos x actually. Principal value branch for cos inverse of x will be given by 0 to pi. This is the graph. Have a look. Now they have not shown everywhere with the what you call the mirror image, but if you plot the line, no, draw one thing, draw the curve here, y equal to x, and take that graph and paste it over here. You're gonna get the mirror image again. Okay, correct, na? This part will go up, right? If you take mirror image, it will go up. This will come down. This will go up. Okay, so take this out. It will be this graph, the highlighted line, 0 to pi. Check this out. You get the PDF, okay? You can cross check again. You will have the NCERT, no? If you want, you can just open it and just check it right now also. Okay, now moving on. This was the bacha for cos x. Have a look. Now we will move on to cos inverse of, cos inverse x also done. Tan x and tan inverse of x. Is it not coming? Have a look. Yeah, cosec is there, bacha. We have cosec over here. Have a look. Okay, cosec x graph is here, cosec inverse graph is here. Only this part. Okay, principal value is highlighted over here, this part. Okay, chaliye. Next, what we have, So graph is very important. Learn all the graphs, sir. Learn all the graphs. I'm not able to resist the temptation to teach a little bit. That's why I'm giving explanations also at times sometimes. But you have to learn this from your side. Otherwise, you can see my sessions that I've taught already in ITF and Bacha in your for KCET series and your Brahmastra series. Why I'm saying is because this is really a short video, Bacha. This is only to help you out how to break down NCERT and optimize it to make your preparation, make your revision faster. It's not a session to teach you everything. Okay, I hope you are okay with this. I hope you know why we are here. Okay, just helping you out as a tool, as a what to do in this chapter. So graphs again for sec inverse and sec x is there. Go through it. Principal value is highlighted over there. Please mark them. Okay, they're written over here also. Don't worry. Okay, so same goes with other functions also. You'll have tan also, bacha. This is the tan function, tan x and tan inverse of x. Very important. The question comes on this principal branch. Okay, principal branch is over here. Please check this out. Okay, chaliye. Now if we move on, what is the next part? What is the next part over here? Have a look. Questions we have to solve, right? So to solve the question, sir, this is for cot, right? Cot x and cot inverse of x. Now this table is very important. You have to, like you knew the domain and range of sine or cos and tan, basically the trigonometric functions, you have to know the domain and range of what, bacha? You have to know the domain and range of trigonometric inverse function as well. So inverse trigonometric also you have to know sine inverse, cos inverse, cosec inverse, sec inverse, tan inverse and cot inverse. Check this out. The domain and range has just interchanged, right? Domain and range has interchanged, provided that there are what is this called? This is called as a principal value branch. Check this out. Principal value branch. Basically, how you got this? How do we get this? By giving a restriction on the domain of trigonometric functions. Whatever the functions are there, sine, cos, tan, you give a restriction on their domain to make it bijective. Okay, once you get that, you get that as the image, or basically called as the range in the case of inverse trigonometric function. Please remember all these values. Remember, this table is very important. They'll ask you questions but directly from here. Question can be asked directly from here. You've seen that PYQs. Go ahead, check it out. I've done in Brahmastra series. Questions directly come from this table. Very important. Please get this sessions PDF and do it. Okay, remember this. How to get a session PDF, bacha? It will be given in the WhatsApp channel. If you're not joined yet, join the WhatsApp channel right now. Okay, the link is given in the video description. Go ahead, check the link out and join the WhatsApp channel. Okay, the sessions video will be given for that only, and any update for the session will be given in the WhatsApp channel only. Chaliye. Okay, now what do we have? Some notes. Sine inverse of x should not be confused with sine of x inverse. Why is that, sir? This is just 1 by sine x, no, reciprocal. Okay, this is different. This is inverse function of sine. This is 1 by sine. Reciprocal, sir. This is simply cosec, sir. This is simply cosec, sir. Whereas this is ITF, sine inverse of x. Okay, whenever no branch of an inverse trigonometric function is mentioned, we mean principal value branch. Means when they don't specify any particular branch, usually they do if they're asking a question like that. But if they don't, you have to simply assume that they're talking about principal value branch. The value of an inverse trigonometric function which lies in the range of principal value branch is called as principal value of the inverse trigonometric function. Simple definition. Okay, not much is there, but you have to know this as well. Now moving on to example, bacha. Have a look. Okay, chaliye. So example number 1, if you want you can solve it. They're simple only, not much difficult. Exercise 1, bacha. 2.1. Question number 6 you can solve. What else we have here? Question number 8, 9 and 10. Question number 11, 12, 13. All have to solve, bacha. Okay, again 13 I think is a MCQ, right? Check this out. It's MCQ. Okay, and 14 also is a MCQ, right? Yeah. So list of the questions already I have given from exercise 2.1. How to get this sessions PDF will be given in the WhatsApp channel. Okay, so get this sessions PDF and solve these questions. I have given the list to you. Okay, from NCERT. Properties. What's the properties involved in trigonometric functions? Sine inverse of x in the given domain and range is given as sine inverse of sine x will become simply x, bacha. In this x from where to where? Truncated part, na? Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Okay, chaliye. Let's move on now. What do we have next? Sir? Okay, example number 3. Have a look. You have to solve this question. Very important. You've seen the question like this coming in the exam as well. So example number 3 is very important. Moving on. Example 4 is also very important, bacha. Check this out. Example 4 is highlighted over here. So example 3, example 4. Okay. Then we have. Okay. Then what we have, sir? We have example number 5 also. Solve this as well, okay? Because why this no, bacha? Because in NCERT there's not much questions given, so different varieties of questions are already there. So you have to solve all the solved examples without fail. That is like mandatory. You have to solve. It means you have to solve, okay? Because if you want to solve this different variety of questions, what are the substitutions that they are going to use? You have to know and recall them when solving a question in the exam. Okay, that's why solve all the solved examples in the NCERT, bacha. Okay, example number 5. Now exercise 2.2, check this out. Question number 1, question number 2, okay, question number 3, question number 4, 5, sir, almost all of it. Yes, bacha, almost all of it. Okay, over here almost all of it. Simple questions are there, don't miss out on anything, because they use different formulas. No, they have different formulas for the question. That's why I'm asking you to remember this. Okay, chaliye. 7th, I've done these questions in my classes. Check this out. Not all of it, but I have done most of it. Okay, 7, 8, 9. I know you can solve it. Please solve it. Okay. Now we go to question number 12. Question number 13 is a PYQ. Question number 14 also is a PYQ, and question number 15. So 12, 13, 14, 15. All these questions has to be solved. Again, we'll look at the miscellaneous examples. Have a look. So we have this. They've asked question like this, right, in a PYQ. You have seen that. You have solved it very good. Question number 6 is also very important. Example number 6, sorry. Example number 6 is very important. Now we will move on to exercise, bacha. Miscellaneous exercise of the chapter number 2. Example question number 7, question number 8. Okay. Question number 7, question number 8, question number 9. I've done this question, right? This I've done, this I've done. I've done in my Brahma series. Please check this out. Both of them, okay? I think this also I've done. I'm not sure, but please check this. I think I've done this question somewhere, maybe in the KCET series, but I've done this question for sure. 10th also I've done, okay. 13th also I've done. 13th, no, 13th I've not done. Solve it. Okay, I've done this 13th also. Check 14th also out, bacha. So please check these questions and solve it. The question list is over here. Have a look. Question number 7, question number 8, 9, 10, 13, 14. 13, 14, is that it? Yeah, that's it. So this is your question list from the chapter ITF. I hope this is clear. I know there are a lot of questions, but the simple questions, right? And again, this is very important. The table is the king of this chapter. You have to know this without fail. I have and these properties and the table. The highlight of the chapter is this only, sir. And the graph, bacha. The graph is also important. Why graphs, sir? Do they ask the graph questions? They might not, but if you know the graph, you are able to, visualize the question and get the answers right. And also, bacha, one more thing, remember the formulas of trigonometry that you have learned in grade 11. Okay, the PU one. Like all the ratio, all the identities which is there in the, like sine 2 theta, cos 2 theta, then you have cos 3 theta, sine 3 theta, okay, tan 2 theta. So all this formula you have to remember, okay, sine A plus B, sine C, sine D, okay, all of this formula has to be remember to solve the question, because they use the application of that over here, okay. Then you have to remember quadrant rule as well. Very important to remember quadrant rule. Okay, means where the sign is positive, negative. Okay, the angles in first quadrant, all ratios are positive. Second quadrant, only sine and cosec is positive. Third quadrant, only tan and cot is positive. And fourth quadrant, only cos and the reciprocal sec is positive, right? Rest all will be negative in the quadrant 2, 3 and 4, except for what I've mentioned. You know this, right? Very simple, very important. But because questions, when I say sine inverse of sine 3 pi by 5, you have to apply the quadrant rule to solve that question. Okay, so very important to know that. And then the property of complementary and supplementary ratio, sine pi minus theta or cos pi by 2 minus theta, all of this has to be known. Okay, clear now? Please know these things. Complementary ratios and supplementary ratios. So what happens at even multiple of pi by 2, odd multiple of pi by 2, check this out. And the change of sine to cos, cos to sine, all of that will be used here. The simple stuff you learned in grade 10 also, okay, but still you have to be sure with that. You can't make mistake in that. You can't write sine 80, 180 minus pi as cos, 180 minus theta as cos theta. That's wrong. Okay, so please check this out. It's going to be sine theta only, right? Second quadrant. 180 minus theta is second quadrant, right? So sine will remain sine, theta will be theta because of the positive sign that you have in second quadrant. So that's why you have to remember the quadrant rules for all the ratios. You have to remember the identities of all the that you have in PU1 that you've learned. Okay, and I think that's all. Yeah, complementary ratios also to remember. Okay, so you have to remember all of this to be able to solve the questions over here. Very simple questions, and the table of course. Table has to be remembered with the properties. Okay, the properties also there. Cos minus theta is cos pi minus theta, like that. So you have to remember all these properties to solve the questions in this particular chapter. I hope this is clear. Okay, I hope you had all the information that you need to crack this chapter, to decode this chapter from NCERT. Inverse trigonometric function, very important because this is going to act as a tool in chapters to come in calculus, bacha. So very, very, very important. I hope you're okay with that. Again, so how to feel confident that you are prepared? Solve all these questions. First, learn this concept that I have highlighted over here. After learning all these concepts, go ahead and solve the questions that I've given. Questions list. Okay, from NCERT I have given, from PYQ you have to make the question list. Okay, I've done the sessions on PYQ in the Brahmastra. You can check the questions from there also, but have a questions list ready for you. Okay, if you are able to solve questions from NCERT comfortably, very important, comfortably, not putting efforts, not after solving the questions or checking the following formulas again, that's wrong. If you can solve the question without any effort, okay, very good, then you can say that okay, NCERT is done, sir. Next bacha, same it should happen with PYQ also. Taken a PYQ, solving it without any effort, very good, it means the chapter is over. Now once it is over, do one thing, write a mock. Write a mock, sir. If you are having a mock paper from your school, from your college, from anywhere else, very good. But if you don't have, we also have a mock test going on right now, PU2 Success Blueprint Test Series. Okay, please go ahead, check that test series out. The link for that will be given in the description. Go ahead, check the link of the test series out, and you can write the part test, means syllabus based your preparation, whatever you prepared, no, same syllabus can be answered in a mock. So we have given 4-part test, means you'll have PCM. In that maths will have certain syllabus will be given in the schedule once you join the series. The test might have already been taken, don't worry about that, you can take it again. Okay, solutions will be given. You'll also have solutions available to you, video solutions, PDF solutions, and doubt sessions also have been conducted. So, and then whatever tests are coming up for you, you can take that live. Okay, I hope this is clear. Please write mocks, very, very important. Please write mocks, bacha. Okay, so with this, I'm gonna end the session today from Decode NCERT session number 2 for mathematics for ITF. I hope you learned something. I hope you're able to know the ways to optimize your NCERT preparation from this chapter. I'll see you in the next session. Till then, take care of yourself, keep working hard, okay, and I'll meet you again very soon. Bye bye.